do you really think the people around you have seen you think again? They've never truly recognized the power you carry, and the day they realize it, it will be too late for regrets. Right now, you might feel overlooked, underestimated, or misunderstood. Maybe at work, your contributions are minimized. Maybe in your family or social circles, your efforts are quietly ignored, dismissed, or overshadowed. You might sense that your voice doesn't carry the weight it deserves, or that your presence is taken for granted, leaving you questioning whether anyone notices the depth of what you bring. Perhaps you've endured betrayals, subtle slights, or even outright dismissals, leaving invisible scars that whisper, "Am I really seen?" But here's the truth. The struggles, the moments of isolation, the setbacks, and even the heartbreaks you've endured have never been meaningless. Each challenge you faced, each test of patience, courage, and endurance has been quietly sharpening the strength inside you. Pain, adversity, and betrayal have not broken you. They have been the forge where your inner power has been tempered. Everything you have survived has been secretly preparing you for a moment that is entirely yours, the recognition of your true self. This is where the idea of being a chosen one comes into play. Your power does not come solely from external accomplishments, accolades, or recognition from others. It comes from your ability to withstand pressure without losing integrity, to rise after setbacks, and to navigate life's storms with grace and purpose. Your resilience, your inner authority, your unshakable sense of self, these are the qualities that set you apart. You are not just another person trying to survive. You are someone who has been sculpted by experience into a force that commands respect, influence, and attention, whether others realize it or not. Consider your current reality. Maybe you're sitting in a meeting where your ideas go unheard. Maybe you're navigating family dynamics that drain you, or dealing with colleagues or friends who fail to acknowledge the depth of your contributions. Perhaps your silence, patience, and restraint are mistaken for weakness. Yet these very traits, the quiet endurance, the ability to remain composed when chaos surrounds you, the discipline to act with integrity even when it costs you, are your secret weapons. They are the unseen power tools shaping the life you are building and the influence you will inevitably command. Ask yourself, have they ever really seen what you've endured? Have they witnessed the late nights, the sacrifices, the moments when you refused to give up even when it would have been easier to surrender? Who could ever understand the depth of your journey? The courage it took to keep moving forward when every signal said stop. And here's the part that will make you lean in closer. No one else can write the story of your resilience. Only you hold that pen. Only you have walked the path that has forged your unique power. And no one, not even the loudest critics, can change the chapters you've survived. They can only watch in awe or envy as the story continues to unfold. By the end of this message, you will begin to see yourself differently. You'll recognize the quiet but undeniable force within you that has been growing under the surface, waiting for the moment to reveal itself. You will understand that being a chosen one is not about being noticed by everyone. It's about honoring the strength, wisdom, and resilience that already exists inside you. And once you step fully into that awareness, the world around you cannot help but shift. So stay with me. Ask yourself who truly knows the depth of your journey. Who can ever replicate the fire you've walked through and emerged stronger? And most importantly, are you ready to claim the power you've always carried, the influence that's already yours, and the life that is waiting for the chosen one in you to step forward? You've faced it all: betrayal from those you trusted, the suffocating weight of impossible work pressures, moments when your value was questioned, failures that left you questioning yourself, and even the unexpected return of people from your past, claiming proximity as if nothing had changed. Every challenge, every trial, every curveball life threw at you was not random. It was deliberate, shaping you, testing the depth of your resilience, and quietly preparing you for the life you were meant to lead. Look closely at what has been occurring in your life. Those who underestimated you or turned away when you needed support. Their absence, their doubt, their dismissal, it was never about your worth. It was the crucible in which your true power was being forged. The pressures you endured, the silent moments of struggle. No one noticed the times when you had nothing but your own resolve to rely on. All of it has been refining your spirit, sharpening your focus, and igniting the glow of your inner strength. You didn't just survive, you learned, you grew, you transformed. Like a supernova collapsing under immense pressure, you burst into brilliance that outshines expectations and rewrites every story anyone ever tried to tell about you. Your strength is not just physical or intellectual. It is the quiet authority you carry when chaos reigns around you, the calm you maintain when others lose their composure, and the unwavering discipline that allows you to move forward when others would stumble. You are the embodiment of persistence, endurance, and measured action. And here is the essential truth: you do not crumble because life is heavy. You bend, you adapt, and you emerge with even greater clarity and purpose. You are proof that adversity is not a trap, but a forge. It is the mechanism through which your inner fire was cultivated. Now consider the mirror effect. Those around you, friends, colleagues, even adversaries, cannot help but reflect the presence of your inner power. When you rise, their insecurities flare. When you shine, their complacency is exposed. Your resilience becomes their reminder of the paths they avoided, the risks they refused, and the growth they never pursued. Those who return from your past, whether out of nostalgia or calculated advantage, are not coming back for you. They are chasing what you now carry, that they cannot manufacture: your authority, your clarity, your unshakable presence. And when you recognize this, you see not just their motives, but the affirmation that you are operating on a higher frequency than they ever could reach. The psychological impact is profound. People who attempt to reconnect often wear masks of concern or affection, but beneath that veneer lies self-interest. They see your progress and your light, and they are unsettled because it exposes the mediocrity or stagnation they have tolerated in themselves. Their envy is a confirmation of your advancement. Their desire to benefit from your presence is a silent acknowledgement that you hold something irreplaceable. Understanding this allows you to navigate relationships and encounters with clarity. You do not need to prove yourself, defend yourself, or lower your standard. Your inner strength is both shield and compass. In the real world, these lessons manifest daily. In the office, your quiet consistency commands respect more than loud claims ever could. In family dynamics, your ability to maintain composure while others react emotionally positions you as a stabilizing force and a source of insight. In social environments, your aura of self-possession shifts the energy of rooms, drawing attention to the substance of your character rather than superficial displays. These are practical demonstrations of inner strength transforming into tangible influence, the kind that others cannot ignore, replicate, or undermine. And here is the empowering truth: every time you recognize that your endurance, your courage, and your resilience are shaping your reality, you are reclaiming your authority. You are awakening to the inner power that has been present all along. The power to navigate chaos without being consumed, to create clarity where confusion reigns, and to stand unshakable while the world tests your limits. This is the emergence of your chosen one essence. A self-contained force that turns adversity into opportunity, challenges into wisdom, and silence into a statement of your unassailable presence. By the end of today, understand this: the trials you've survived are not scars. They are your credentials. The betrayals, the pressures, and the obstacles are not weights. They are proof of your readiness. Your inner strength is real, palpable, and unstoppable. And as you embrace it, you step into a space where confidence is earned, influence is inherent, and the world begins to align itself to the gravity of your presence. You are more powerful than you know, and it's time to see it, claim it, and let it radiate in every action, every choice, and every room you enter. Now that you understand the depth of your inner strength, it's time to translate that resilience into strategy, into deliberate actions that shape your life and influence. The first principle is deceptively simple but profoundly powerful: silence and observation. Too often people feel compelled to prove themselves, to justify their worth, to assert dominance, or to command attention through noise. You, however, have learned a higher art. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. By holding your words, by pausing before acting, and by observing with clarity, you gain a perspective that most people never achieve. You see the hidden currents, the subtle intentions, and the true alignments of those around you. Your actions, when deliberate, carry far more weight than 1,000 empty words. Think of it like this: your silence becomes a lens. While others scramble to project, to manipulate, or to compete for attention, you watch, measure, and respond with precision. You understand who genuinely supports you, who is quietly envious, and who seeks only to benefit from your presence without giving back. This discernment is a cornerstone of influence. You no longer need approval, applause, or validation. The world already measures you by your consistency and integrity. Every pause, every calculated step, every choice to act only when necessary amplifies your authority. And then there is the glow effect. This is the aura that comes from surviving trials, mastering your own mind, and embodying the lessons that most people ignore. Your glow is not visible only in your confidence or composure. It's a magnet that attracts opportunity, admiration, and attention. Yet it cannot be replicated, bought, or faked. People sense it even if they don't consciously understand why. They see the results, but not the journey, the calm power rather than the struggle that created it. It is the signature of someone who has walked through fire and emerged with authenticity intact. And unlike superficial charm or borrowed influence, this glow establishes you as irreplaceable and unmistakable. Managing the attention of others becomes critical. Not everyone who approaches you has pure intentions. Some are drawn by envy, others by opportunity, and some by genuine alignment. Through observation and discernment, you learn to navigate these currents. You recognize who elevates you, who drains you, and who merely wants to ride your wave. Your boundaries become sacred. Your decisions are guided not by fear of missing out, but by clarity of purpose. You are no longer a player in someone else's script. You write your own and others follow. Sustainable influence is built not on spectacle, but on consistency, integrity, and purposeful action. Show up in your work, in your relationships, in your community, not to be seen, but to embody the principles you value. Every ethical decision, every act of quiet leadership, and every moment of steadfastness compounds over time, building a reputation that cannot be undermined by gossip, envy, or fleeting trends. And here's where your impact becomes exponential. By elevating others and helping them recognize their own value, you create a ripple effect. This is the essence of the chosen and rising community, empowering others while solidifying your influence. Your authority grows organically, anchored in service, authenticity, and proof rather than performance or coercion. In practical terms, consider your daily environment. At work, your colleagues notice when you remain calm under pressure, when you choose action over reaction, and when your integrity guides difficult decisions. In family life, your measured presence influences dynamics without you having to control or dominate. In social circles, your quiet authority shifts the energy, revealing who is authentic and who is performative. In every situation, your influence is felt before it is spoken, observed before it is applauded, and respected even when it is subtle. By mastering these principles, you move from being a survivor of circumstances to being a strategic architect of influence. You understand that true power is not noise, it is presence. It is alignment. It is the ability to act with precision, to inspire through example, and to create impact without needing external validation. This is your path to genuine authority, calculated, intentional, and deeply rooted in who you are. You are no longer reactive, you are the force others measure themselves against, the standard that silently shifts expectations, and the presence that shapes outcomes simply by existing. Ultimately, this is the shift from enduring life to mastering it. Every lesson learned, every trial endured, and every inner victory now becomes a tool. You see the currents of human behavior, the subtleties of power, and the invisible architecture of influence. And with this awareness, you can navigate your life, your relationships, and your community with deliberate mastery. The glow you carry is not for show, it is proof. The influence you wield is not borrowed, it is earned. And the world, whether it realizes or not, begins to bend in response to the quiet, strategic power of a chosen one who knows how to harness it fully. You are a mirror that others have been avoiding their entire lives. Every ounce of resilience, every lesson you've endured, and every spark of growth you carry reflects a truth that many would rather not see. When you rise, the people around you, colleagues, friends, even those from your past, cannot help but confront the gaps in their own lives. Your inner strength, your composure under pressure, and the subtle authority you project expose insecurities, unfulfilled potential, and limitations they've chosen to ignore. They may not admit it, but your progress becomes a silent indictment of their stagnation. Think about it, the very people who once doubted you, ignored your presence, or dismissed your value now have to face your evolution. They see the calm confidence in your demeanor, the clarity in your decisions, and the glow of someone who has been tempered by fire. This is the mirror effect at its most potent. You don't need to speak to reveal the difference between endurance and weakness, between commitment and complacency, or between authenticity and pretense. Your life alone highlights what they avoided, hid from, or failed to cultivate within themselves. Consider vivid examples. The colleague who once undermined your work now finds themselves recalculating every move in your presence. The friend who laughed at your struggles now watches quietly, unable to dismiss the strength you've built. The person from your past who never valued you now scrambles to appear aligned with your success. Your evolution forces them into self-reflection, whether they like it or not. And when they can't match your growth, frustration and envy arise, not because you threatened them, but because your presence exposes their unfulfilled potential. This influence is subtle yet profound. You alter the energy of every space you enter simply by existing as a fully realized version of yourself. Conversations shift, atmospheres change, and others unconsciously measure themselves against your integrity, discipline, and calm authority. Even without speaking, you establish a standard that cannot be faked or undermined. People around you sense it instinctively. They can mimic your appearance, copy your style, or echo your words, but they cannot manufacture the lived power you carry. The beauty of this mirror effect is twofold. First, it validates your journey. Your perseverance, patience, and growth are tangible, undeniable, and impossible to ignore. Second, it reminds you of your agency. You do not merely influence through words or actions. You influence simply by being. Your value is self-contained, your authority inherent, and your impact inevitable. You create ripples in the lives of others without lifting a finger through your consistency, presence, and authenticity. Understanding this transforms how you see your relationships and interactions. You no longer need external approval, recognition, or validation to affirm your worth. The respect, attention, and even envy you provoke are reflections of the light you've cultivated within yourself. Your growth is not only about lifting yourself, it forces the world around you to respond, to recognize, and to recalibrate. It's the subtle power of someone who has endured, learned, and mastered themselves. You become the standard, the benchmark, the example, and the mirror that challenges others to confront their truth. And here's the empowering truth. Feeling this effect isn't arrogance, it's awareness. It's the clarity that your journey has positioned you as an agent of influence, even in spaces where influence is rarely acknowledged. Your presence disrupts complacency, reveals hidden weaknesses, and inspires those who are ready to learn. It establishes you as someone who commands respect without demanding it, whose impact is felt long after you leave the room. By embracing this mirror effect, you recognize your own irreplaceable value and the quiet, unstoppable force you wield. You understand that your life is both a testimony of survival and a beacon that shapes the perceptions, actions, and even the growth of those around you. And as you stand in this awareness, there's a surge of satisfaction, pride, and a feeling of being untouchable, not because the world has changed, but because you have changed. And the reflection you cast is permanent, undeniable, and transformative. As we reach the close of this journey together, it's time to recognize the profound truth that every challenge, every betrayal, every pressure you've faced has been a tool refining the power within you. These trials were never meant to break you. They were meant to strengthen, sharpen, and illuminate the resilience, discipline, and integrity that have become your most valuable assets. Your inner strength is not measured by applause or recognition. It is measured by the calm authority you carry when storms rage around you, by the ability to remain grounded when others lose their composure, and by the clarity of your choices when life tests your limits. You have completed the most rigorous course life could offer, the class of experience, endurance, and evolution. You've walked through fire, emerged from betrayal, and faced pressures designed to shake your spirit. Now you are stepping into a phase where your lessons become your tools and your growth becomes your influence. It is no longer enough to survive. Your mission is to create, elevate, and inspire. The world around you will reflect your energy, your decisions, and your integrity, and those who witness it will either rise alongside you or be reminded of the opportunities they failed to seize. Here is the essential lesson: you do not need the validation of others to know your worth. Your achievements, your wisdom, and your evolution are self-evident. Silence, observation, steadfastness, and integrity are not signs of restraint. They are your strategy, your armor, and your leverage. Every experience you've endured is living proof of your capability to lead, to influence, and to leave a lasting mark. You are no longer at the mercy of external judgments. Your value is inherent, undeniable, and cultivated through action, not approval. As you step forward, recognize that your presence is transformative. The calm confidence you embody, the measured decisions you make, and the authority you carry naturally command respect. You do not have to shout to be heard, perform to be admired, or justify yourself to be acknowledged. Your impact is quiet yet enduring. It radiates from your actions, your consistency, and your authenticity. Those who are aligned with purpose will see it, and those who are not may resist or envy it, but neither can diminish it. Your influence is anchored in truth, not perception. Now take a moment to reflect on the empowerment that comes from this realization. You have been tempered by life, forged by challenges, and elevated by experience. Every scar tells a story, every trial leaves evidence of your endurance, and every victory, large or small, confirms the unchallengeable strength you carry. You are not merely surviving, you are thriving, and in doing so, you set the standard for others who follow. Your life is a blueprint for resilience, leadership, and purposeful action. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to act in a way that continues the cycle of empowerment. Like this video, comment with your experiences. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Chosen and Rising to stay connected with transformative truths that unlock hidden strength and potential. Each click, each share, and each engagement is more than interaction. It is a commitment to stepping fully into the life you were chosen to live. As we part today, remember this: your authority, your clarity, and your inner mastery are permanent. You have walked through fire, learned its lessons, and emerged untouchable. Carry this power forward. Stand firm in your integrity, act with discernment, and let your growth ripple through every area of your life. You are empowered, you are influential, and you are ready to claim the next chapter of your destiny.